Hey, good morning. It's August 25th and I felt obliged to make an urgent video such as this. There's been a whale activity that I've seen yesterday on X where they've actually dumped 24,000 Bitcoins in the last 24 hours, which equates to almost 35 billion US dollars. And that was the cause of the actual dip in price that we've seen the last 24 to 48 hours. It's dipped 10%. It dipped from 117 to 112,000 oscillating at the moment. So what I'm trying to say is there's always going to be a factor that is just beyond anyone's control, and this is not something that's uniquely akin to Bitcoin. It happens to any asset classes. It just so happens that given the amount of attraction and the amount of capital that's been drawn historically into Bitcoin, which has still continued to dominate the capital wealth in the asset class, there's always going to be profit taking. There's always going to be, well, let's just dump it for the sake of dumping because we want to buy that Rolex or that premium property, which I clearly advocate against doing because that is a want, not a need. For me, the only circumstance where you would want to do that is when we need that hip surgery, or we need to help out a friend, a close friend, or importantly, a family member. For me, those are the only genuine circumstances where one would want to sell some of their Bitcoin stash, but not for the case of a want, when we actually want to have a luxury. This just doesn't make sense given the 21st century we're in. So that was the cause of the recent drop. It's all the more reason why we need to continue to stick to our own conviction, never fall into the trap of panic sell, beware of the scammers because now we are heavily targeted by scammers. We've seen, and unfortunately, a lot of unfortunate incidences in news where retiree couples, or even youngsters, even those that are astute digital asset investors, they've all fallen into the trap of scammers stealing their coins. Not just Bitcoin, with any other digital asset token. So let's not fall into the hysteria, let's not fall into the panic sell, beware of the scammers, stick to your own conviction. Now if you have spare cash floating around and you don't know what to do with it, it's always advisable to DCA into Bitcoin. So dollar cost average every now and again would be my advice. So that's really what I want to share with you, is the reasoning why we've seen this 10% dip in the last 24 hours, because there's been a lot of hysteria and comments. Oh, why this is happening, why we're seeing this happening in the last 24 hours in Bitcoin, and this was the reason. In fact, there was another post activity on X where there was over $215 billion long positions that's been liquidated in crypto in its entirety. So of course, part of that was to do with this whale activity in the last 24 hours. So that's all I would like to share with you today. I'm actually on the southwest coast of Spain at the moment, so I'm actually doing my early morning jogging, and there's a beautiful scenery here. As you can see, it's really calm, and I'm just jogging with my son, who's obviously ahead of me at the moment. I'm trying to play catch up with him. So that's all I like to share with you today, and the message still remains the same as always: invest wisely and invest in Bitcoin. Until next time.